Hello everybody, how are you doing today? I am so excited to bring you another paper craft today, and we're going to do a little golden book junk journal. So I've done one of these before, and we do it a little bit different, so it's a little bit, sorry, get my hair winging out there, so that we don't have any sewing or a lot of gluing or anything like that. And so we're just going to have some fun today. And today we are in in an event with Tees Paper Crafting Friends Unite. And so it is sponsored by Tamara from Tees Crafty Fox Creations, and also Carla's Cajun Creations, and those are our hostesses for the day. So I hope that you will go check them out. If you are coming on here, and you're welcome to come on with your page name if you'd like to. I always say that people are, you may check out somebody that you don't know and find one of your new favorite crafters, right? Hi, Deborah. And so I'm Christy from My Artful Adventures. I primarily do paper crafting, so to be in a paper crafting event is perfect. So, we're just going to have fun with it. And let's see, what else was I going to say? No telling. No telling. If you are new here to me, you will know I talk a lot. So sometimes I think I lose my train of thought before I finish telling you what we're doing, but we are going to do this fun little golden book and turn it into a sweet little journal today. Hey, Marilyn. Patty's here. Carol. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I always love to know where people are watching from. And what kind of weather are you having? Is it warming up in your area? I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and yes, it's warming up where I am. So, oh my goodness. That's just the way it is here, right? I haven't always lived here, and so I have certainly found out that, it can get to be toasty, to say the least. Toasty indeed. So we're going to go ahead, and it's time for us to start, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. Oh, let me send myself over to my group too. And you guys, if you are not familiar with my group, I have a no-cost group that is my Artful Adventures Clubhouse. And currently we have been doing a mystery card night once a month, and that's going to come up in a couple of weeks. So if you want to get in on that, come on over. All you have to do is knock on the door. Be sure to answer the questions. Just say that you'll agree to the rules, especially because it's a private group. We like to keep it nice. We don't want any nonsense. We don't want any, any awful stuff going on. There's Jimmy Lou. Hey, Patricia. Hi, Sue. So yeah, you guys, just go over, knock on the door, and I'll let you in. But answer the questions. There is that stipulation. It's like the secret password. That's the secret password over in the clubhouse, right? Okay, let me move my keyboard down. I can see our comments. And we are going to just hop on here and get this done. And I have some things already prepared because my hope is that we will be able to get through this and you'll be able to make one of your own if you want to. Okay, so what we're going to do is a lot of times the little golden books have a couple of signatures in them, and the easiest thing to do is if you find the center between them and start trying to get your staples loosened up. That's what we're going to do first. But you know what? I'm not sure this really has two signatures. This may only have one signature, you guys, and if that's the case, I'll tell you what the difference is going to be, okay? And it's not a big difference, but just go ahead and loosen these staples out. See where they are coming out right there? We are going to leave that in. We're going to leave it together till we get these staples out. There we go. And then you can just kind of easily pry it out. And look here. We have got our little spine piece still intact. Now you can see where the staples popped through as they were coming out. And now all you need to do is just pull your pages off. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've shown this before, and trust me, this went way better than the other time. No, it does have 2 signatures. Okay, so you're going to need to pay attention to how we put these together in the book. We need to leave them as 2 separate signatures so our story stays the same. And we're just going to move these, we're just going to bend them down. And I'll show, you'll see why as we go through here. And now I am just going to cut through here. I've got a rotary cutter, which I think will make it a little bit easier. And you can just use, an X-Acto knife or, whatever you want to use, a craft knife. But you got to be smart enough to use your thing. There we go. Oh, that's always the case, right? You always got to use your tools. All right, let me see. I've got another, I have a handy dandy thing that is a great finger protector. And I'm going to put it down here and kind of put it in, but then I can't find the middle. You know what? I'm just going to wing it. I can't see really the middle if I do that. And it's not that. I think I can get it close enough. We're just going to slice this in what we think is the middle. You just want to leave that little bit because then we're going to turn it over and glue it to that raw edge that we have made. Yeah, I don't know. That, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So all we're going to do now is put a little glue across here so that we can lean this over and stick it down. And that way it'll cover up the edge of that base. Our little covers. What have you guys been doing? Did you have a great weekend? Thank you. I appreciate that. Jimmy Lou. Hey Karen. Hi Ann. Okay. And so I am streaming this to both Facebook and YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. A lot of times I try to stream it to both places at once. And that's mostly what I have on there right now are lives, but there are some, I need to work on that. I need to do some more videos and get them up there that aren't lives because they're not so long. Not everybody wants to sit through an entire long live, right? Okay. Because when you go on YouTube, aren't you kind of usually looking for something short and easy? Okay, so there we go. That grabs pretty quick. This I like to use a lot of times. Reptile glue is what it's called. And it sticks pretty quick. But, anytime you're using liquid glue, it gives you just that moment to get it stuck down. But these little needle, I buy it in a different container, and then I just put it in these little needle nose applicator bottles. And that way, it makes it super easy for me to just use, the tiniest bit that I need. Hey, Susie, how are you? And then I'm just going to push that up here. Oh, it'd be easier. Just do this. I can cover more space than just my fingers. And a lot of times, and this is a lot of kinds of glue. If you let them get a little bit tacky first, then they'll really stick faster. But I do find that if I wait very long for this, then it's not even tacky. Hey Susan, how are you doing? You guys, we went the other day. My great-grandson is doing track. And so, oh my goodness, I don't really like the heat. And my goodness, I got prepared though. We went prepared for the heat. And so when he comes back about 1 o'clock and I don't know, it's the most interesting thing. I'm not a sporty person. I never was in sports at school. So, anytime the kids are in something different, it's always interesting how they run the events. My oldest daughter, she loved running and she did track for a while. And then when they went to a track meet, she was done. I can't remember what happened, but she goes, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, okay. So, you know, and she was never all that sporty either. And frankly, I was really surprised that she wanted to do it. So, you know, she always did really well in school and got good grades. And, you know, I didn't press the issue. I had seen how coordinated she was for sports. So I just didn't, you know, I didn't make a big deal out of it. Okay, now it is sticking. Let me see if I can let you see. It is sticking up a little bit. That's not gonna, maybe I can, you can't really see it very much. It's, maybe this way. It's sticking up a tiny bit, but it'll be fine. When we're all done, it's gonna be fine. Alrighty, now we've got those. Now what we're gonna do with these is we are going to punch holes with it with our Crop-A-Dile. Let me get some clips, you guys. I need clips. Where are they? There they are. I'm just gonna get some out here. I'm sure I will need more as we go on, but I want these to be straight right here. I'm going to hold those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch these, and I'm going to put in 3/16 inch eyelets, you guys. They're going to be kind of big, but we're going to run some ribbon through. And so I've set it here. It is in this back hole right here, and so you can see that, you know, come down. So that's going to be my punch, and I'm pretty sure I can punch through all of these at the same time, and then I don't have to worry about if it's you know, even. So I want it to kind of be in the center of that little spine, but I don't know. Oh, whew, did we do it? Yes, we did. Cool. Okay, I'm going to do one down here about the same distance. Well, I don't really, you know, it doesn't really matter to me if those are super even. I can't get them into where the staples are. Remember, we do have staples still in the front part. So I'm just going to go to the edge of where that, whoops, got to get it back where the cutting thing is, right? Okay. Oh my goodness. Ah, did it. And now just one in the center. So let me mark the center so we kind of have a better idea. And all I have to do is line these up so my 0 is kind of in the middle. And then I just need something to mark with, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, here's a pin. Okay, it's at the top of the bee's head. Hope I can find the top of the bee's head when I do this. Okay. It'll be close, even if it's not I'm just gonna go with that. Oh, lean into it, right? I know you've done some of that heavy leaning. Okay, it looks pretty good. I'm pleased with that. I am real pleased with that. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the eyelets for the book. Oh, we're doing good, you guys. Whoops, that came undone. Luckily, I looked up the settings for that. Whoops. You guys, I keep the little thing that came with my Crop-A-Dile. I always keep it because I never remember what the settings are. And I keep the little paper right in the same place I keep my eyelets. And then on this big Crop-A-Dile, this is called the Big Bite, you guys. And then this little thing up here adjusts like which size holes you need, or if you're not doing holes, if you're using the eyelet setter, then you push it back up here. Okay, so there we go. And you guys, look at this. I found little gold or brass colored eyelets. I felt like I had won the lottery. Although I don't know. I don't know what that would feel like. I don't really do that. Okay, there we go. Oh, that looks good. And I hope these are even enough that, oh yeah, I think I did a good job on the holes this time. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Carla, right? Oh, is this one your favorite? This particular one, is that what you mean? You guys, I looked. The Pokey Little Puppy was copyrighted in 1942. Isn't that cool? That little story has, lots of kids have gotten a chance to read that little story. I thought that was fun to see how long that has been around. Then you just set it in there, pop it in. Okay, now do the other three. You guys, I might have planned too well for this. I might be done. Oh my goodness. Hey, better that way than not getting done, right? How many of you have made a little journal, a little golden book journal? Anybody? Has anybody made one? That's fun. I tell you what, I'm not real fond of some of the newer ones. How about any of you? I like some of these older ones. And you guys, there are some that I came across. There is a particular artist who illustrated a lot of the golden books, and I actually think she did a lot of the illustrations in some of the Childcraft books that I had. And I don't really know when that set came out, but I've seen other sets of Childcraft books that I did not think the illustrations compare, or just the whole layout of the book, I did not think compared to the set that we had when I was growing up. Of course, you know, you get used to what you're used to, right? But I really do think that they were just beautiful pieces that I can't think of what her name was. I don't have any right here. Shoot, I can't remember what it was. If you probably saw them, any of you that are anywhere near a particular age, you might recognize them as well, some of her work. They're very soft pictures. Okay, now remember, I told you those aren't going to matter. And they're not. They're still not. Okay, now we've got these. Now, we're going to take our little booklets here, our little signatures, and take them apart. And I've got a bunch of papers already ready over here. Sort of. They're sort of ready. And this is going to make kind of a difference in how we put this together, since it does. I made a little small one, and it wasn't even this big. It wasn't the same size as most of our regular golden books. It was a smaller one, and it only, I think, had one signature in it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. First off, I've got a piece of kind of a lighter weight multimedia or mixed media paper, and I'm just going to fold it in half. And all of these, some of the pages are going to be smaller in width, some of them are going to be longer, and it doesn't matter because the longer ones we're going to cut it and trim it all off when we're done. Okay? Yes, Lori, that's who it is. Eloise Wilkins. Yes, you're right. Oh, do you like her work? I think that she just did the most precious illustrations. Oh, thanks to all of you who have sprinkled me out. That That makes me happy. I so appreciate it. Carla says you only have your favorites, so you couldn't take them apart. I would have to find one that was worthless. You know what? I have gone to, we have a store in our area called Half Price Books, and that's where I get them. The ones that belonged to our kids and our family, they're still in the bookcase. So these I don't have any trouble doing that. Mixed media paper, Sue, is something, it's called exactly that. You can get pads of paper. I think this is from a Canson. Actually, it was like a spiral bound, and it's perforated so you can tear it off. And it's this size. This is probably about like a 9 by 12 maybe. Well, this part's 8. Oh, I cut it that high. I think it's 9. I think the pages are 9 by 12. I'm like, how did that get to be 8? Well, I cut it that way. Oh my goodness. But this way, if somebody wants to do something else on it, it can take a little bit of moisture. It can take a little bit of paint, a little bit of watercolor. It's not watercolor paper. It can't take as much moisture as watercolor paper. But I like to do this because, somebody might want to, do something with it. Now, what we're going to end up doing with this page is I want both the signatures to be in here. Everything is going to fit in this page right here. I'll just tell you what's happening. So when we get everything together, we're going to put it between these two. And so then our book pages, our little golden book page, original pages, will have a little bit of a protective covering around the original pages, okay? So that's the scoop. That's where we're going with this. So I'm going to set those over there. So in light of that's going to be, at the end, I think I'll set this over here too. So let's go ahead and we're going to do one of these, and I've got a variety of different pages and papers. And you know what, you guys, if you wanted to do all kinds of papers that were more related to to kids' books or children's stories or something, you could easily do that. Just find other, books that you would like to use the pages. Now, if you'll hang with me here, and let's just open all of these out, okay? We're going to open them all out. And so for these, we're going to lay one in here. So these are only 3 pages to deal with as we're going through here. I should have folded them all in half. And I don't really mind if my music notes are going the other way. Sometimes I like them going the other way because I think it is a little bit, to me, it's less distracting than if they're like this, because this way I can still put other things horizontally, and I kind of like it like that. What is somebody laughing about? Sue, what are you laughing about? You're very welcome. I'm always glad to answer questions if I know the answers. Okay, and then we can put, now this did not turn out as I was thinking. You know what? Because there are two separate signatures, I'm going to do this. Cause an avalanche. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this page in half. So my book pages were about 6.5 inches wide and they're 8 inches tall. I don't know how big this was. I don't know. Actually, I think it was about the right size. But I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it the size it needs to be. And I'm going to show you how you can actually use half a page when you're doing the binding like we're doing now. So I'm just going to put this one in here, and then we'll close this up, close it all up together, stick it up, and I'm just going to clip it together for now. And then we'll go on to the next signature. Something I said cracked you up. Oh. One of my friends said she thinks the reason that people like to watch is what did she say? The looks I make. And I go, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. And then this one is just going to be short. I am going to go ahead and turn it that way. And we're just going to put it in here. You know what? I think we may restack some of these because now I'm going to have two short things. This is not working out at all like I was thinking. And that's okay. Okay, so I think I love this. Look at this paper, you guys. Isn't this fun? Now, if we put this in here, you know, I wanted to put this between the two signatures in the middle. Well, and we can do that because this way, okay, so let's see what's going on here. We've got that. And you can put more than one piece of paper. You know, let's cut this one in half. Or no, this is kind of sturdy. You know, this one might be a good one to put out on the outside edge. And you can put two on the outside edge if you want to. But then you've got two things before you get to your story. I don't know. You know, and it's just what you want to do. It doesn't really matter. But I did want to put this in here. Between where they join together. Like this. And put that other one. Okay, hang on one second. What do we put in the middle over here? I already forgot. Or Jimmy Lou had to get out of here. Okay, so we put half of one right there in the middle of that. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe I'll just save that for something else. Maybe I'll save that for something. And just put another piece of map page here in the center of the second one. Right here. We could do that. And I don't even really need to I don't really need to cut it because we're going to have to trim them anyway. Let's do that. Now they should be about the right size. I'm going up and down. And then we're going to put this one right here. And this is, by using this method, you guys, you can use a single sheet because it's going to be, you know, tacked in here the way that we're doing our binding. Time for plan B, right? Hey, if you'd have seen the first time I made one of these, you would know it's going real smooth. So you can, you know, just put that in there. Let's use two of those. And then this one, goes here. There we go. So now we've got that. I love using vellum because you can just see through it too. I think that's a lot of fun to use. Okay, and let's use this. And we could trim it at the top and the bottom if we need to. Well, now my clips are in the way. You know what? Let's do this. Let's stack them up like this, shake them down, stack them like this. Let's put our other piece around them. I didn't even use my fun little piece like this. I kind of wanted to use that because that's kind of fun. You know what? Let's sandwich it right here in the front because it's just a nice size. And we can see that we're getting to our title page. That's kind of fun. I like that. And we will have to trim this off the top and the bottom probably. Or we could put it a little bit down and then we don't have to trim so much off. You know, I'm for putting it more in the middle and trimming a little off both sides. I like that idea better. So just kind of stack them up, shake them down, give them a good shake, get them even. Get the spine as, you know, tight as you can. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to mark those areas, and then we're going to use our big old Big Bite again. Last time I tried to do this and I tried to use an awl. Oh my goodness. It was kind of hard. And I couldn't get my stuff all the way through. So we're going to use that. Now we know where those are. Where's my Big Bite? And I'm just going to use the smaller hole this time. And I might go in a little bit farther than what this mark is. Farther into my page. I wish the little thing had a I wish the little guide let you go in a little bit farther. And I don't even mind if it sticks out a little bit out of the back, because it's still going to be all secured. I love, you guys, if you don't have a Crop-A-Dile or a Big Bite, you would probably never be sorry if you got one, because they are so useful to go through stuff like this. Okay, and now while we've got that all together like that, let's go ahead and trim this off. And this time I do have room to put my guide here. So I'm just going to set that along the edge. And when you trim these off, oh, you guys, I can't trim it at that spot. I almost cut my pages way off. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Well, actually, how far does this stick out of the book? Maybe we better find that out. Oh, it's sticking out quite a bit. We need to do about a good 1/4 of an inch to get that where we want it. So I'm just going to pull it back here a little bit. And then what you do is you just start making your guides or your cuts. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it different. Let's put it together first, and then we can mark the edge where our book is. So that means now I need to move the clips one more time. Oh, the Big Bite or the Crop-A-Dile. You know, Diane, it really depends on what you want to do with it. Here's the Crop-A-Dile. And the Crop-A-Dile can only go this far in. So let's say you have something that you want to do, and let's say we were going to actually use it and we needed to punch a hole in the middle of something. You can't get to it with this, whereas this has all this space that you can, you know, put something. Well, let's turn it this way. You can go way, I got my guide set up there close. You know, you can reach in really deep with where you want to set an eyelet or punch a hole. And, you know, but it is bigger and clunkier. You know, sometimes if you can get one with a coupon or something, I would really urge you to do that. And then who knows? But this is a nice handy one, you know, to be able to use and see how you like it. And even though you can just squeeze it with your hand, you would think it might be super hard to do, but it's not. Just, you know, squeezing it by hand, it really gives, it has great, you know, it's springy, it's easy to use. So, you know, either one. If you think you might be doing things with, you know, that you need deep, to get in there deep, then eventually you might really want to have that, the big bite. So, you know, all these kinds of things are just so, you know, your personal preference, really. You're welcome, Carol. If you're just journaling and cards, yeah, well, and even sometimes at that, you might want to do that. Okay, you guys, we're going to put this together, and we're going to do it just like a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, if any of you have done something like this. And I tell you what, I am so glad to have punched the holes first, because it's going to make a big difference in, you know, getting my thread, my ribbon through here. And this ribbon is, you know, fairly, what should I say? It's real pliable. It's not a heavy, thick ribbon. Even something like, here's a piece here. It's a little bit wider than this one we're using, and this is woven. You know what this reminds me of with the weave, you guys? I'll show you up close. It reminds me with this weave of like shoestrings, kind of. You know how shoestrings are kind of woven? That's kind of what it reminds me of. Now something even like a, and this is a grosgrain ribbon. It looks like it should be gross grain, but it's not. It's grosgrain. And it's another woven ribbon. And, you know, you could probably even get it, you know, through here. The thing you have to think about is, can I get it through a big eye needle? This is a big, you know, a big needle. The eye of this needle is pretty big. And so you've got to be able to get it through there. Or either, you know, get it really tight. The other thing you could do with the ribbon, if you don't have a needle, is, or cording or something, is take it and get it super, super tight, wind it around maybe, put some glue on the end, and let that set up. So, well, and basically you've made it like the end of a shoelace, like that. And then you could stick that in there too. In fact, now that we're talking about it, shoelaces wouldn't be a bad deal. You could, you know, run them in there. So we're going to go down the center, pull that tight, and then we're going to come up through the back. And we don't have any reason that we need any small pieces caught in here. And so up this way, I might have to straighten my ribbon out in a minute. And then all the way up here, through here. And you got to make sure that your ribbon isn't so thick that you can still get, you know, 2 of them through one hole. Like that. But you guys, this has worked so much better than the other time. I tried to just use I just used an awl. I didn't punch the holes through the signatures. And oh my goodness, you guys, I had to like take it apart and do it over because I couldn't get it through. Oh, I need lots of straightening going on here. That bugs me. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Let's get it straightened out before we get it tied. Wow. It's really twisted. I should have paid more attention when I was threading it through. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Well, I know we will. Because I'm going to make it happen. Okay. And then this one isn't quite so twisty. Just put it out a little bit. There. Got it. And then just pull it really tight. In fact, you might want to use a couple of clips to really get that down there tight before you tie it. Then we're just going to tie it up. You guys were really coming along. Thanks. Thank you, Charlotte. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to get it really tight, and I'm going to go ahead and like tie a knot first. And you know what? Oh, here's a plan. I'm going to use my locking tweezers on it. Hold it tight. Aha! Now there was a super plan. Okay, so I kind of made a little knot first, you guys. And now you can just tie your bow. Like that. You can leave your little tails as long as you want. You could turn it the other way so the tails are more falling off the other side if that's what you would like to do. And I'm going to leave them kind of long in case I decide I want to do something else. You guys, wouldn't it be fun to like add beads or something to it as well? You know, kind of like our little, you could put a little tassel or, you know, whatever. And you've already got your little holes in here. So, I mean, there's enough room. I'll hold it up here. There's enough room through that hole still that you could, you know, put something else. You could do a little jump ring or something. And it had to be more than a little. And now, let's trim off some of this and get it all sized up for us. And that's that little doily. And you just, you know, you can just keep working on it till you're happy with it. Okay, we got that part done. And there. All right, so we got that done. And I got little paper scraps everywhere here. I wish I would have left that. I gotta put my needle somewhere and make sure I don't lose it, you guys. Hang on. Put it up here. There we go. All right. So we've got quite the mess going on here, don't we? Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to still trim it off. And I've got some excess out the bottom here. You know, if you wanted to trim all of that off, you could. In fact, I've got quite a bit of excess down there. We'll see. Okay, this is what I was saying I wanted to do. I wanted to mark this. I don't know what has happened to all my pencils. All I've ended up with today is a pen. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna go right along there. And then I'm gonna trim it on the inside of that line. So this is what I was saying. I'm going to use this, and then while you're cutting this, and I really have enjoyed using these rotary tip trimmers. I had these for sewing, and then this one kind of had a little place in it that got kind of messed up, and it wasn't very good for fabric. And I tell you what, I was glad I didn't throw the whole thing away, because it's been working, you know, perfect for some paper things. And you just keep going along your ruler here and just trimming it off. Just, you know, pop it off as you go through. and just get it out of the way as you trim some off. And just keep cutting through. Just one layer at a time. Or however many it cuts. Might take you, you know, it's not immediate. But it works, right? It works, it works. Okay. And I don't really even know how many layers we've got because, you know, right now we're actually cutting the pages of the Golden Book too. We're trimming them a little as well. Because after we added those other papers in, it made some of them too wide. Boy, I don't know. There we go. I can hear it cutting better now. There we go. We've almost got it, you guys. There we go. And it's a little bit off. There's a little bit. And you could take, you know, your scissors and trim that up or something. But it's better than it was, right? It's not sticking out nearly as much. So now, here we go. Let's give it a... And you know what, you guys? By using this binding method, if you wanted to take it apart and add more stuff in it, or you changed your mind, or you decided, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? I didn't want that there. You could take it apart. You could just pull it apart and do, you know, the other things. So here we've got, and this is what I said, this was that mixed media paper, and so it's on the very outside, giving our pages a little bit of protection right there. And so here's this little goodie here. So like I said, it's easy to see that, you know, there's our title page. And this is some, what do you call that? I think ledger paper, maybe, right there. So lots of things we can add stuff to. We can still put pockets in it. All kinds of good stuff. You like that, Carol? Great, I'm glad. So see what I mean? What do you guys think? Do you like the, would you rather have music paper turned the right direction? You have a big magnet for your needles. That's a great idea, Charlotte. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here's a problem. This guy got loose into the mix. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what. Well, let's see what else we got going on. Is he the only one? Hopefully he's the only one that got loose. Do you like the mix of papers? Now here was where we put the vellum right in the middle between the two signatures. And here's just the tiny little piece. We have it going the right way. It's a junk journal, you guys. You don't have to have everything the same. Look at that. See, and I was trying to tell you how you could do one single sheet. Both of those got loose. Well, you know what? But see, this was one single sheet too. So here's my advice. If you're using single sheets, make sure that you've got them, you know, down into the binding real well. But we're going to fix it. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We'll fix it. And we've got time to fix it. There's a dictionary page. And just all our little fun pieces. And, you know, you see how you could find other papers that might go better than just, you know, I mean, I use these kind of things all the time for my journals, right? All the time. But you could easily find something, you know, that would go with these separate little things. Okay, let's fix these guys that got loose. And you know what we're going to do? Since I don't need to add anything else, I'm putting some glue right down here. Right down into the spine. And I'm going to put a little bit on the page in case it doesn't hit where I'm wanting it to. Just there on the edge, you guys. We're gonna stick it in here as far as we can get it in there. Try to make sure it's lined up out here on the edges. And just give it a good, just kind of push it on in there, you guys. Just gonna kind of give it as much of a push into that spine as I can give it. Okay, and let's do the other one. This one is not quite all the way out. It caught part of it and not part of it. So we'll just give it a little glue and pop that in there. So yeah, just make sure you really get your pages tight into the spine. Curious to see how I fix it. I'm fixing it right now. I'm not going to take it all apart right now because we're already too close to the end. And it'll be fine. It'll stay in there. And in fact, I might go along and just add a tiny bit of glue right here on the other side. And I know it's going to catch. And then just close it up, you guys. How's that for a fix? I put a music page in the wrong way. That's the joy of junk journals, Martha. Which one was that? Are you talking about this one? I don't know which one you mean. They both work. I meant to put this one in there. Is this the one you were talking about? Oh, wait a second. You're talking about one you did. Yes, and you're right. You embellish it and you put pockets on it and everything else, and yeah. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You guys, following me is going to be, okay, let me think. It's Mandy. Let me look. Wonderful Whimsicals by Mandy. There we go. I got it. This is fun. You guys like these kind of paper-inspired days that we have over here in this group? Oh, thank you, Vonda. I appreciate that. Thank you for popping on over there on YouTube. Appreciate it. So yeah, you know, it's a different way. And, you know, look at this. Now I could trim off over here, and I probably will. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll trim this off. But you guys, what a fun way. I mean, you know, a lot of times we see these and they are, you know, they take a lot longer to do the binding and all that and all the gluing and the extra things. I do have another way that I have seen too, to still keep these intact, and you don't even split them down the middle. So if you guys would like to see that episode too, maybe we'll do one of those one day. Would you like to see a different way to kind of bind it easily too? Who wants to see another one day? Oh, thanks, Lori. Yeah, you guys, it's always a lot of fun with these little books. And you know, like I said, if you have access to any of those half-price books, the stores, you know, check them out. You might find a whole bunch. Although, I have to tell you, I wasn't thrilled with where I found most of them. The last time I was there looking for any, they were in a completely different space. And yesterday, I only found one where I was looking, and then I thought, well, I wonder if they've moved them over to where the other children's things are. So I wander over there, and I find it, and guess where it is? They have like 4 sections 4 little, divided sections. They're on the floor. Oh, I'm down there. I was over there with my granddaughter. She goes, what, and I'm over there. I am not going to get down on the ground because who knows if I'd get up. And so I'm leaned over, digging through these tiny books. My granddaughter, she loves books. She loves reading. And so, she comes over and she goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm looking at golden books. So we got through it though. And I go, you want to help me? I didn't get an answer. She would have, if I would have really asked her to nicely, she would have. So anyway, yeah, Diane says she'd like to. Carol does. Lori says she would like to. Okay. And I see Vonda says she is up in New Brunswick, Canada. Fun to watch. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys, it's been a lot of fun. I do love doing these little books with you. So we'll try the other kind. I haven't made the other kind before, but I see how to do it, and it can't be much different than this. Although that one will use sewn in signatures on it. So we'll take it apart and we'll kind of, do just like this one and make sure the signatures are together. You know what? I'm not so sure. The last time I worked on one of these, somebody asked me, were my pages, was the story still in the right order? And yesterday when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know. I think it was only one little set of signatures in that tiny book. And if it was, of course, the story is in the right order. But you would have to be careful, doing it. Okay, so here's this. Here we've got it in here. The map pages were the ones that were coming loose. And so they have just enough tiny bit of glue in there that they're in there now. So there you have it. I like it. I like it a lot. And for these little bindings, all you have to do is just look for something that kind of coordinates with the front of your cover. I think you begin completing this in your page. Maybe, why not, right? We like to make other pockets and try different styles of stuff. I think it would be a fine thing to be doing on the page. I didn't even finish the last one I was working on. Let me grab it. The other one that I was working on, we still need to, avalanche. We still need to work on it some, but I'll show you what I did. So while I was working on this one, I couldn't decide. I was going to wrap something around the spine, and it was just laying here, and I thought, why? It has a nice border all the way around. Why not? Just leave it. And so then I just took a strip of the same thing, and it's covered the front and the back. So I made sure that the little green thing was on the right, the correct corners as I put it on. And then we just started filling up, the things. I love these kinds of pockets that are kind of expandable. You just put your glue down the center of them. And I've seen them done with more than, 1 or 2. So that's always fun. This one has it has glue tabs on it, and so it has a little bit more give. It's a little bit looser. This one doesn't have any glue tabs on it, and so it's tighter. And so that's something to think about when you're making your pockets. And then look at this, you guys. These are dictionary pages, but look what I did. Some of those dictionary pages have and that one that I've been using a lot, it's a big page, so the paper's a good size, but it has these little things down the side on the outside margins, and it's got, little pictures and things. So I made a belly band with it. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So still from the same dictionary pages, and that's as far as I've gotten in that one. So we still need to, we've got all kinds of stuff we can, work on with that. So yeah, we got a couple of journals going on here that we can work on, right? Oh, you guys, don't you love this paper? Oh my goodness. And now I've folded it in half. Well, who cares? If I don't want it folded, I could easily just put it out straight and iron it some. We are just about to the end of our time, and so we're going to have to go over and see what Wonderful Whimsicals by Mandy is doing. So, and I didn't even say, who was before me? Well, it was Carla's Cajun Creations. I think she was right before me, and she was making those paper roses out of, like textbook. I think she was using text paper, and I tell you, I love making those. I've done some of those. They're a lot of fun too. Okay, you guys, I have to run because we got to make room for our next presenter in the group today, and I will talk to you later. So yeah, I'll be on tomorrow at, I made some goofy time. Every time I make a schedule, I'm having to go back and fix it, and I'm like thinking, I don't know why I can't get the numbers in the right places and the right numbers at that when I am planning my schedule. I don't even know. For some reason, tomorrow I'll be on at noon Eastern time. Why? I don't know. Check the schedule on my page. It's right now. It is certainly right. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.